there can be this kind of seeming consensus, these things that kind of everyone knows that I don't know, seem sort of wise, seem like they're common sense, but really they're just kind of herding behavior masquerading as maturity and sophistication. And when you've seen the consensus can change overnight, and when you've seen it happen a number of times, you suspected, but you didn't really bet on it, and you're like, oh man, I kind of thought this, but what do I know? How can I be right and all these people are wrong? You see that a few times, and then you just start saying, nope, this is the bet we're going to make. I don't know for sure if we're right, but like just ignore all this other stuff, see it happen. And I don't know, even if you're right 50% of the time, being right 50% of the time contributes so much, right? You're adding so much that is not being added by anyone else.
So I think this Dario Amodei comment illustrates perfectly and beautifully the timeline of the creation of economic value. You have to perceive an opportunity. You have to perceive an unexplored gap. And will you be wrong very often? Yes. Will people have a demand for your product and for your idea? Not necessarily. You may be left by the wayside, but there's no way to win or to radically change a huge delta to your condition from where you started to where you come, to where you end, if you don't take that risk. Otherwise, you're just going to coast by. And if you're a billionaire's kid or a billionaire for some reason, that's fine. You get more conservative. That's why people get more conservative as they age or as they become richer. They become more conservative. They keep repeating that pattern because their life's fine. So it's okay for them to maintain it. But often the people who have the hunger to change their economic situation or their power situation, or very often, in fact, change the world, which is an impossible mission that motivates someone forever, essentially. I think that's what we see with Elon Musk to some extent. And I say that it is, in my opinion, what we see with Elon Musk because he wants to go to Mars. He wanted to change the world, the way that people travel, the relationship with the cars, what a car was supposed to be or do, actually, right? What is a car? Oh, it's something that can drive by itself? Nobody had that conception. Elon Musk foresaw it, and he wanted to change the world so as to make that perception come to be. So due to the fact that it's an impossible goal, an endless goal, he'll keep going after it. And he'll never stop, no matter how rich he becomes. And I think that's the motivation of a lot of these tech CEOs who become billionaires, and they don't cash out and go live in a Hawaii island. Although some of them also have the island, but they don't go to Hawaii. They stay in Silicon Valley, and they stay working on their startups, despite the fact that they're worth billions of dollars, an amount of money that most people never see, and that could, of course, afford them a Hawaiian island mansion, a beachfront property, wherever they like, in Ibiza, whatever they want to be. And that's the reality. But the motivation is really what propels humans forward. And you see a lot of people who get rich and do not have that desire to change the world. They often stop very early on, or aging will make them stop, even if initially they were motivated in the most altruistic, ambitious, endless, motivative ways, as many of them are. And though, if of course you have nothing, the motivation is more natural, the delta that you wish to achieve is greater, and the discomfort you have with your current condition is, of course, higher. And that changes, of course, largely with age. Biologically, that changes your biological intrinsic motivations, regardless of your external conditions. So older people are more conservative, even if they're not billionaires, because there are very few billionaires, and there are many older people who are conservative. So we can see that it does not require that you be a billionaire. And in fact, maybe billionaires are exceptionally suited to not becoming conservative as they become richer, as we see with Elon Musk, at a much higher rate than the average person. Every person with age becomes much more conservative than the average billionaire does. And in terms of their ability and willingness to take risks and innovate, because of the selection of traits that makes one billionaire, right, usually involves a certain kind of resilience and a certain kind of desire for the future, hopeless optimism. Hopeful optimism always. You're a hopeless optimist who never ends yearning for the next thing, yearning to change reality around you and to touch all the people around you, touch their hearts, their lives, change it, improve that, provide value to them so that they'll love you and provide value to you as well. I think that's all very deep, and I think it's somewhat encompassed by the words of Dario Amodei. That's why I love Anthropic. I think they're very mission-driven people, and I think they left OpenAI because they had a desire to build this thing that was much more beautiful in so many ways, much more subtle, deeper, truly more altruistic, more concerned with humanity and with changing the world. And I think the example they set is brilliant. This is why the revenue is now at $70 billion, while OpenAI still sits at 25 billion. I'm not saying they're a bad company. They have been the pioneers from the beginning, and I value them very much. And I would like to see them succeed as well. But Anthropic is really leading the way in many different categories and avenues. I hope that you enjoyed my overview of this topic today. I hope that you enjoyed my reflections on it. And I hope that you'll subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment down below. And I hope that I'll see you more often here. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great time today.